Drake. Get up! Alright, we're gonna react to some quick Drake videos, some quick Kendrick Lamar performing at Toronto, and the crowd going crazy. Let's check it out.
I study rap battles for a living.
Ladies and gentlegrams, it was the night before GNX in Toronto as the tiny Tupac twin prepared to put the petty petition.
Did he just call Kendrick the tiny Tupac fan? The twin?
Prom Queen Padre in a Canadian coffin.
Prom Queen Padre.
Dare to dash around Drake's town, holding it down for the West Coast.
It's like, okay, he performed in Toronto. How was Drake? Drake can't stop him from performing in Toronto, right? But it's the fact that the fans was rocking with Kendrick on a different level that just made Drake just look crazy. Not like us, they're chanting one more time, bro. Like, come on, bro, come on.
Bacon or French toast, or would the West goat just choke like strep throat, or would the crowd just roast Kendrick for even trying to disrespect a lawsuit filing legend? Well, the West Coast warrior did everything we could have asked.
Drake, steak, a lake. Kendrick 5.
To show that the GNX show in Toronto would never be his last laugh. So let's break it all down, but first hit that like and subscribe button with a smash. Now, ladies and gentlegrams, it was the night before the GNX show in Toronto when Labrie did everything he could to distract the public from the fact that King Kung Fu Kenny was coming. Yes, just like the diddler in a freak-off, Kendrick.
Hey, yo, what?
Labrie's TV off. And as a Canadian, this makes me proud, all right? But first, let's touch on the fact that Labrie did everything in his power to try and distract the public from the fact that Kendrick was coming to smack and kick in Labrie's back.
I study rap battles for a living.
So first, this is hilarious. Aside from the initiatives Drake took to distract the public from the fact that Kendrick was performing in his hometown of Toronto tonight, Drake's fan base, the OV hosts, the freaky frontlining fandom, had actually organized an event outside of the Rogers Center to gather around and sing Labrie's music like a bunch of cheerleaders. So you can see here, right, this very well orchestrated event. The OV Ho Takeover Show. Show Kendrick whose city this is. Let's remind them who runs the city.
Bro, didn't they cancel this, bro? Because, I don't even know, bro.
Where is it? Outside.
Let's look at this flyer. OVO Takeover Show. Kendrick, show Kendrick, wait, what? OVO Takeover. Show Kendrick whose city this is. Let's remind them who runs the 6. Where? Outside of Rogers Center. When? June 12th and 13th. 5:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pull up with speakers blasting nothing but drizzy. Signs showing love for the 6 god. Your best OVO drip. All your dogs and only good vibes. Let's flood the streets with love for Drake and show the world who runs the 6. Free OVO hoodies and pizza while supplies last.
Kendrick, whose city this is. Let's remind them who runs the 6. Where is it? Outside the Rogers Center where Kendrick will be performing. When? On June 12th and 13th, the nights he's performing. From 5:30.
Bro, if you're Drake, how do you feel about this, bro? How do you, bro? Like, what do you do? I gotta denounce my citizenship from Canada, Toronto. I got to.
3 p.m. to 11 p.m. So they planned on standing outside the stadium as Kendrick was performing all night, blasting Drake music. And it said, pull up with speakers blasting nothing but drizzy, signs showing love for the 6 god, your best OV Ho drip.
Just glazing on a different level.
Good vibes. Let's flood the streets with love for Drake and show the world who runs the 6. There's free OVO hoodies and pizza that was supposed to be given out. It's a shame if they put all this energy into actually streaming Drake's music, Kendrick wouldn't be beating him on the charts. But instead, they want to crowd around the stadium that Kendrick is about to make history in, or did.
Drake fans aren't that smart. I don't know. The collection of them just aren't, like, you know.
They planned on doing this, and it failed, and we're going to touch on that shortly. I'm going to have too much fun with this video. So, aside from the Drizzler, you also have the Aka Diddler, who finally made an appearance at the GNX show in Detroit. And he was planning on making another move coming to Toronto Drizzler's hometown to not only gargle on the Grams glazed donuts, but also pop out in another GNX show, the Toronto one. He wanted to see if Kendrick was really like that, if he would really perform Not Like Us on that stage. So he was on stream talking about how he told Drake, yo, you got to get like Big Ack, eat 1,000 Big Macs, and then show up to Kendrick's concert drunk off a bunch of Henny.
I was set to go to Toronto. Actually, I even told Drake I was going to Toronto. Yo, me and Drake talked yesterday. You know, I told Drake, I said, Drake, if you like that, I said, you saw Big Ack popped up at the show? You pop up at the show. I'm his.
And hey, at least he admits finally that he's an instigator. If you guys didn't see my last video, Dave Free, when Academics went to the GNX show, actually confronted Academics saying like, yo, why the hell are you instigating all this crap? Like, is Drake paying you right now? Is this really just content, or are you serious about all the crap you've been saying? Because Academics has been stirring some crazy narratives. But the real bombshell that Acadidler dropped here is the fact that Drake told him, and again, this is coming from Acadidler, it could be cap, but apparently there have been 2 cars parked down the street from Drake's house all week, making sure nothing crazy goes down while Kendrick is in town.
You know what happened? So I told Drake, I said, Drake, you see how I said you got to do your big act, pop up and show. They in your city, pop up. You know what he told me? He said, act. They've had 2 cars on my block since 2 days ago, since they know this is coming. So somebody said, I'm cap. Y'all never believe me. I tell y'all the truth. Y'all be like, you're lying. I tell y'all what y'all want to hear. He's telling the truth. Why do y'all even listen?
And I mean, you might think that's crazy, right? But it's fully warranted in my opinion. Drake, aside from actually having firearm attacks at his own house throughout this beef, not from the beef, but just right after the
Wait, is the cars there to protect Drake or to like surveillance Drake?
The people he rolls around with have also been antagonistic like crazy, right? First we saw Aiden Ross beefing with a bunch of LA guys, taunting them that he was going to come to LA, talking all this crap online, then saying he would sue them if they did anything to him, just inciting violence. We've seen Acadidler incite violence by saying that Drake should do something to Kendrick the same way someone did something to Nipsey when he called them a snitch because Kendrick called Drake a PDF, inciting all this violence. And then, of course, you have at the top of the Ovi Ho totem pole, top 5, who has been
bottom 5.
Absolutely crazy.
Bro, that dude, I don't know why they keep trying to paint bro as like a gangster or as a hoodlum or like a, you know what I'm saying, bro? You're not like that, Crody. Crodum. You're a waste man.
Online, we're going to touch on that later in this video. But yeah, it's warranted that, you know, maybe some undercover cops are keeping an eye out on what the hell is going on at the embassy, at the Ovi Ho embassy, to make sure Drake does not pull any funny moves while Kendrick is in town. Remember when Drake went to Philadelphia also throughout the back-to-back Meek Mill beef, the Dream Chasers were waiting outside for him there as well. So you can only imagine with this beef being a lot bigger than that, the stakes were high here. But of course, Toronto show Kendrick.
Yeah, bro.
On that shortly. But first, it seemed like Drake was trying to keep himself out of trouble and keep himself in the limelight while Kendrick was performing. Because at first he announced that him and Kai Cenat would actually be doing a live stream at 7 p.m. on the night.
Side note, I hate that everybody that say Kai Cenat, and he never corrects anybody. It's Kai Cenat. C-Net. C-Net. Not Cenat. It's not even an O in the, like, it's an A. C-Net. C-Net. And he never corrects anybody, bro. That irritates me.
Night that Kendrick takes the stage in Toronto. Kai Cenat had himself announced it, saying,
I study rap battles for a living.
First of all, thank you to everyone who shared their video submission for Drake's song Somebody Loves Me. We were blown away by the creativity and thought poured into each submission. We were supposed to go live today, but needed a little extra time to review them. Tomorrow, Drake and I are going to go through some of these submissions with you guys, share some of my favorites and some of the not so good ones.
Never happened.
Know which 20 people are going to get money to bring their music video treatments to life. So basically, the same night Kendrick was bringing his show to Toronto, Drake was getting in his streamer bag, about to link up with Kai Cenat at 7 p.m. to go through music video ideas for Somebody Who Loves Me. And again, like, Kendrick just turned Drake into a full-on streamer. Like, we've seen him do more live streams this year than actually drop music or do concerts. And of course, it wouldn't be a Kendrick Lamar successful event without the Ovi Ho conspiracy courthouse Karens trying to come in with their best theory on Kendrick.
Bro, this man got a nickname for everybody, ain't it?
Flopping, right? Trying to say that the GNX tour was not sold out. He was going to flop in Toronto. Everyone would laugh at him. No one would come to his concert. Well,
woke up looking for the broccoli. Hot key, keep on me. That got my seat. IP. Ownership of Blue Way is by me. Mr. Get Up.
I study rap battles for a living.
Kendrick performs live in Toronto tonight. Ticket demand is spiking on StubHub. Toronto just became one of the top 5 best-selling cities on the GNX tour based on total tickets sold. And the shows have not even started. This funny picture of Kendrick, if you could really look at
Drake.
on Drake's album cover views. Now, of course, the OVO Commander-in-Chief, the courthouse Karen, La Brianna, was going to be busy with Kai Cenat on stream, so he could not make it to the show. But you have to remember, the last time Kendrick Lamar was in Toronto was on the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers tour, and his #1 fan was actually in attendance of that concert.
Drake was spotted at Kendrick Lamar's Toronto tour stop on Friday, August 12th, despite any of their rumored beef. There was video of Drake watching from a skybox at the Scotiabank Arena, and it started making its rounds over the weekend after the Big Steppers tour made its Canadian debut.
I study rap battles for a living.
You also had the Meet the Grams producer, the legend himself, Alchemist, say that he actually might pop up at the Toronto concert. And when I saw this, I was so excited. I thought we were getting Meet the Grams live for the first time ever. Unfortunately, not to spoil nothing, but that did not happen. And the day that the show commenced, La Brianna sat behind the fence and flip-flopped back to his Canadian cave as Kai Cenat announced that they would not be doing the stream in the end that night while Kendrick performed. Kai said, "We need more time with the treatments, the music video treatments, for Somebody Who Loves Me. So
No, they
we're pushing
don't.
the stream back a few more days. Apologies." But that wasn't the only trick up the Ovi host sleeve, because he ended up dropping a song tonight at the same time Kendrick was performing. It's a horrible song. He's doing his crappy Toronto.
It's a song with Smiley, bro. People say that LA music is bad or don't travel well, bro. Toronto music, bro. Toronto rap don't travel at all. It don't even move around in Canada, my brother. There's a reason why Drake is the biggest artist and the only rapper out of Toronto that has like a buzz. And he don't even make Toronto music, so.
Accent, and he's dissing the West Coast. So we'll get into that shortly. First, we got to take a look at the goofiest glazer of the Gaviline Graham. Top 5, but he should have been named bottom 5. The man who met Drake as a 13 or 16-year-old kid, I forget what age, but he was shirtless at a basketball event Drake was hosting, and Drake gave him the nickname Shirt Off Shawty and took a picture with him, and then they became best friends. Top 5. So Top 5 has been talking crazy since he got out of prison on an attempted unaliving charge. He has been looking for Kendrick Lamar. The first day he popped out from prison, Academics was antagonizing the crap out of him. He got on live stream and said, "Yo, Cruddy, me and Drake are about to do a live stream together where we're gonna watch the Not Like Us music video and do our homework on every man's in the music video and take notes. Kendrick thinks he can come to Toronto. Him and Metro Boomin are banned from Toronto, Cruddy. A straight waistsuits guy. Gerberts, fam." Drop a like for my Toronto accent. I'm Canadian after all. So yeah, he's been causing a lot of trouble since he got out of jail. He also linked up with Kanye West. Kanye West gifted him a Mustache Man NAZI chain. And remember, this is the guy who claims to be Drake's shooter. Drake is Jewish, and he's wearing that chain. But anyways, this guy's an absolute clown. So he's been saying Kendrick can't come to Toronto for his show. There's no way he'll be able to come in without checking in with Top 5 himself. So Top 5 attempted to pull up to the Nobu Hotel, which I guess he assumed Kendrick was staying at. It's a luxury hotel within Toronto, and he tried to get in and showed on live stream that the doors were locked.
Lock off every door in the Noble Hotel. Man even cut everything off. Man bought everything. He's a bitch.
It's stuff like this, antics like this, that are the reason why the cops or whoever was posted up outside Drake's house for days before this concert. Because you have goofy stuff like this going around, and what's crazy is, ever since Top 5 upped the antics about Kendrick Lamar and started talking crazy, that's when we saw Drake actually link up with him in public and take public pictures with him the most. Drake never really acknowledged any of these guys, Academics, Aiden Ross, Top 5, Oviho Mall, until they started glazing and talking crazy about Drake. Anyways, to all the OV-hoes who wanted to say Kendrick couldn't sell the show out, I mean, we're going to play videos of it very shortly, but just for a little bit of proof, here's a screenshot of Ticketmaster showing
Damn.
before the show actually started. At the same time, remember the little OV-ho party that they wanted to throw outside the venue where they'd all be singing Drake songs and dancing around and Drake merchandise and all that? Yeah, it looks like not enough people signed up because they had to actually cancel the event.
I study rap battles for a living.
right before the event started, they said, due to logistical constraints, we're going to have to cancel today. I know a few of you are already there. If you're there right now, you're on the way, send pictures and video of y'all vibing together. Start playing with some stuff and then DM it to us. We'll send you guys OVHO hoodies. We're super sorry, but this is out of our control. We hope to see y'all tomorrow at the second GNX show at 7 p.m. by the statue at Gate 5. Meanwhile, the Toronto restaurant that Kendrick mentions in Euphoria, New Hope King, which actually made a Kendrick Lamar special, the fried rice with the dip sauce and the blami. You'll see later Kendrick fans.
I mean, yeah, New Hawk can get fried rice with a dip sauce and a blami, Karoti.
Party at this restaurant after the show, but yeah, they had said that drinks were on the house tonight in celebration of
Welcome, fans. All first round drinks on the house.
Kendrick Lamar coming to town. Well, now let's get into the show, lobbies and gentlegrams. So here's a little peek at
Crow.
And obviously the crowd, because again, right, they were saying that the show didn't sell out, right? Well, take a look at this crowd. Take a look at some of these visuals right here.
Whoa. Nah, bro. What?
I thought this clip was super dope as well. This is Kendrick making a little speech to Toronto and going into a acapella version of swimming pools. And he makes reference to the fact that the first time he was ever in Toronto was in 2011. He acknowledges, some of you guys might have been here since 2011. Some of you guys are new to this thing, but you're in for a hell of a time no matter what.
I see Toronto ain't won the flag tonight, man. Next day we had this cracking. You came Man City, we came out this y'all was cracking. Damn. Mr. Morale. Now we right here, GNX for the tour, and we gonna turn this one all the way up, you hear me?
Ha ha.
Some of y'all go all the way back to 2011. So we're gonna make sure we get it. We're gonna make sure I take one out tonight. Make sure we show a whole lot of love. But if you are new to these festivities, you have to watch me. Follow me. I just grew around some people living a life in bottles, randomly getting gold, mass, natural, giving a shit patterns.
On the way it feels, some people would kill their sorrow. They wanted. That was I wasn't allowed to.
And the Alchemist did end up making an appearance at the show. He just didn't perform Meet the Grams, though. The show looks dope already, but before we get more into the show, more walkbacks about the whole live stream that Kai Cenat and Drake were going to do. So, of course, Kai Cenat walks it back to say, oh, this is more about the music video for Drake than it is about the live stream. We're not actually doing an official live stream. It's just going to be like a Discord call or something.
Let me go ahead and say something real quick so y'all won't be confused. When Drake and
Kai kind of like coaches.
I are doing it, he will call in. He's calling into the board, so it won't be in person. We're saving the in person for another crazier stream. Okay, so that's gonna be over the call. So this is a music video. It's not an official stream. Kai Drake crazy stream. No, we gotta check. We have to do it correctly. You feel what I'm saying? So we're making it work. It's more about the people that submitting it than us. You feel me? So you want to go.
I need a haircut, bro.
Of seeing the music video. So yeah, whenever we do post up on a live aspect, I will let y'all know.
Walkbacks on walkbacks. Meanwhile, Kendrick had a full house in Toronto.
I study rap battles for a living.
And fans in the crowd have declared, just like I did as a fellow Canadian, that Kendrick has been the king of Canada since 2013. And on a side note, listen to how beautiful SZA sounds singing over Kendrick's song Love. This was something I said in a past video. I would love to see an official remix of this. Like, she goes crazy with the vocals on this song. She fits it perfectly.
Hey, Drake, if you're watching, it's no hard feelings, brother. If you put me on your ghostwriting team, you want us to a chance. I don't know. Kendrick been the king of Toronto since 2013. I'll be honest. OVHO's crying. They gotta worry about affidavits right now. But allow me.
And if you're wondering, all right, yeah, Kendrick did, the song Love. He did all these soft songs. Did he do what we came here for? Did he do the diss tracks? Well, lobbies and gentlegrams, take a look at this. Oh, and just the update on the OVHO get-together outside of the venue. So they claimed that police were on high alert ever since they announced it, and because of that, they were very quick to shut it down. That's why it actually couldn't go down. But if you take a deeper look, you could see that, unlike the stadium for Kendrick, very few people showed up to the OVHO pizza party outside the venue.
Oh, bro.
And this show looked crazy. Look at this front row view. Of course, Kendrick had to get into the GNX tracks.
Finna go.
On a side note, if you guys have been to the show, he's not coming to my city, unfortunately, but drop a comment if he changes up the set list at all. Like, if you've seen, clips from one show and then the one that you went to, the set list was different. To me, it kind of seems like he's following the same structure here, which I actually respect a lot more, right? Like, when Drake went and performed back-to-back in Philadelphia, he was doing all this crazy talking or whatever. You could see here Kendrick did not say a word. He let the music speak for itself, right? So much so to the point that the crowd gave him a standing ovation for the King of Canada and begged him to do the song one more time.
I see somebody with a Real Canadians Hate Drake shirt. Boy, oh boy.
Here's a little clip of him performing my favorite song off GNX, the biggest banger. Hey Now. If I don't get copyright strike, I'll play it right here. Craziest guest in the crowd? Apparently LeBron was at the show. I don't know if this is real, but hey, look at this.
LeBron was not there. This is this is from the Mr. Morale thing, I think.
Of course, Kendrick did the mother after Big 3, it's just Big Me as well. Here you can see them begging the King of Canada, King Kung Fu, Kendrick Lamar, to do Not Like Us one more time.
Bro, Drake, get up! Get up! Get up! Nah.
And here's the moment you've been waiting for. They wondered for years, was he going to do it at the Super Bowl? Was he going to do it at his own pop-out? Was he going to pop out to Toronto and do the song? He did the song.
$50K plus people calling you a PDF file in your city. I'd be sick.
And academics, tell me, is that kind of loud enough for you? Those K-bots, those bots, those robots, they're not loud enough for you? You didn't hear that? Oh, hey, what about this when they're begging the King of Canada to do the song one more time?
Oh, man. They call this man the new Six God.
Here's another angle of it. And here's another angle of them begging the King of Canada to do the song one more time.
Bro is oil farming. He's oil farming. Bro, there's nothing else going on. It's just dark and they're just chanting one more time, bro.
And this is what I love. Here come the OV hoes with the excuses. First it was Kendrick couldn't sell the show out. Then when he did, and the crowd went crazy, now we get some more hilarious excuses. So this one guy said, Toronto is one of the biggest cities in North America. Kendrick and SZA, he worked there. SZA, having a show with its moment there isn't anything special. It's expected. Check the population of the city. And of course you'll have your rebellion flock on the other side too. We really gas the expected, as if Drake wouldn't run a whole month across California cities. Let the show run. Have the moment. Keep it clean. Soft things. Yeah, first it was the seats didn't sell out, then it was the crowds weren't loud enough. Now it's, oh, the city is so big, of course the crowd was going to be loud. Of course the opposition was going to come out, pop out for the King of Canada, King Kung Fu Kenny. Yeah, the opposition definitely popped out, and they were chanting OV ho as Kendrick concluded his performance. Here come more OV hoes with some more, I don't even know if you want to call this slander. It's not really slander. It's pretty, safety protocol, standard protocol here. But Academics TV, the propaganda account, again, take this with a grain of salt. It could be fake news. But they tweeted out after the show saying, Kendrick Lamar has left Canada with a 25-car police escort and is on a flight to New York to sleep for his own safety after performing Not Like Us. He will fly back in from New York to Toronto to perform with SZA tomorrow, and will immediately evacuate the country after performing. Yeah, that'd probably be smart, right? When you have Drake's goons, top 5, banging on the hotel doors trying to speak to Kendrick, right? Maybe it'd be smarter to take a jet to New York, sleep in your own house, and then fly back the next day when it's only about an hour flight to not risk your own safety. I think that would be pretty intelligent protocol there. Apparently, there were some crazy security measures at the concert as well. This woman who lives close to the stadium was saying there was like tons of paramedics and police escorts outside the venue. Like, think about the type of moment that this is, right? After this beef, Kendrick is going to Drake's hometown. This isn't like the Meek Mill beef. This is on a whole other elevation.
Yeah, when Drake performed back to back in Philly, he had the United States and Canada Secret Service with him, bro. He had Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, goddamn Donald Trump, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, George Washington Carver, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln's bodyguards with him, bro.
Right. He's going to the city already.
Bro had the U.S. Navy with him. The Navy can't even, like, what are they doing in Philly? They can't do nothing in Philly. Bro had the Japanese militia.
At his door, he's about to perform not one diss track, not two diss tracks, but multiple diss tracks back to back in a 50,000 plus person stadium.
The Dream Chasers was outside. They was waiting on them, but they couldn't do nothing.
In a row. This moment is absolutely insane.
You know that.
Right next to the stadium, and I'm gonna show you what I see here because I didn't even see this during the Taylor Swift concert, like for the entire 6 nights. I didn't see this.
Cat, bro. I was in Colorado during the Taylor Swift concert, bro. Half the city was like on shutdown because of that moment. Half the city, bro. This shit is a crazy game.
But there's literally, like, I counted 3. There might be more. 3 paramedic vans like parked right up to the stadium.
That's actually smart, even for like fans and shit.
So that is one of them, and then right here you're gonna see another one. I'm trying to zoom in here, and you can make out the word ambulance. And then if you look down the road there's like a line of, I don't know if there's security or cops or what they are, but they're just standing on the street in this line formation. I don't know why.
Bro, moving like the president though. Ooh, that's kind of clean. Bro came to the city, had the police on payroll. Nah, Kendrick got to put that in the song. I come to your city, I had the police on payroll.
And so like back outside my window, like the cop cars, and that's one of the paramedics that I showed you. And all of these these vans are Kendrick's like equipment and whatever. And Taylor had the exact same amount. Like the full parking lot was like full of these huge trucks there. But I just think having the paramedics is so sus, and having that line like security or cops or whatever.
She's an overhaul. OB-ho.
Except for the crowd of people violently chanting that Kendrick perform Not Like Us one more time.
OB-ho. Ain't nothing wrong with being a Drake fan. I'm a Drake fan. No, I'm a fan of Drake's music. I'm not a Drake fan. Fan of Drake's music. Not a Drake fan. No. But when you become a fan of Drake, when you become an OB-ho, that's weird, bro. It's weird.
And Kendrick and SZA seems to be all smiles throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
And the crowd was definitely loud. Meanwhile, Drake released a song in a Toronto accent where he raps, "I'm in Barrie, Muskoka, and Brampton, Crotty, F Hollywood, and the Hamptons." Of course, insinuating F the West Coast, essentially. Apparently, because of the hype of Night 1, Night 2 has already sold out. I mean, you can look at this graph for yourself, right? Does this look like it's a stadium full of bots?
That's a lot of bots right there. All right, let's check out the second video. Why today will be the worst day of Drake's career.
Well, if you are ready for what's about to happen and how Kendrick Lamar is about to show once and for all that no matter how hard this loser tries to run to Kai Cenat, he cannot stop what is about to be the worst moment of his career.
Begging Kai Cenat, boy.
When Kendrick Lamar comes to the 6, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And now, really, as between Drake getting more desperate than we have ever seen in really his entire career at this point, to Kendrick Lamar getting ready to play in the Rogers Center, well, as the moments that are about to come are going to make for one of the most important nights that we have seen in rap all year. Make sure to leave that like so all of hip-hop sees how Kendrick Lamar is about to never win bigger, and Drake is just gonna never look more pathetic. And now, with that said, when it comes to both Kendrick Lamar and Drake, well, in a lot of ways, for anybody who genuinely loves hip-hop and the art of lyricism and bars as a whole, well, if you're on this side of the genre, it's about to be straight cinema for you, because with Kendrick Lamar's Grand National Tour reaching the Toronto shows, and here, of course, with this, we are going to see the full circle moment where ultimately, after kicking off a beef on Drake's end where he told Kendrick that he gets more love in his own city, well, Kendrick has really pulled out the ultimate Uno reverse card, because he is about to play within a bigger venue.
Bro. Push-ups probably aging like the worst. Just like the worst.
than Drake
Jesus
has ever been his
Christ.
home, because Kendrick has taken the Grand National Tour to a stadium where for years Drake has only ever done arenas. And now with this, as very shortly we will see Kendrick Lamar just become the king of the six in a way that Drake has never been able to even fathom. Well, with the stakes being so high and with us on the verge of witnessing one of the biggest moments in this entire beat. Well, no matter how angry Drake and OVO may be about this, nothing at this point is going to stop Kendrick from performing Euphoria, Not Like Us, and who knows, maybe even Meet the Grams in Drake's own city. And now as Drake can't do what he did to people like Schoolboy Q here and get the show canceled, this does not mean that Drake and OVO have stopped trying to do whatever they can to take away this moment from Kendrick Lamar, and do anything they can to just diminish the impact and message that is going to be sent to literally everyone when Kendrick takes that stage. And now, while with all of the anger around the OVO community about this, they are just embarrassing themselves to new levels, because literally what they are planning to do as Kendrick is getting ready to play the show is get together all of the fans they have for Drake and hand—
Oh, so this is like a already... Hold on, let me see if he got a newer video afterwards. OVO. Damn, 23 minutes ago.
Now, when it comes to Drake, well, if you're ready to see how Drake is in the absolute dumps after officially losing Canada to Kendrick Lamar following night 2 of his city screaming Not Like Us—
Drake might retire from rap. Things got much worse after the second show.
Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because
What?
as what we are witnessing right now is the very worst moment of Drake's entire downfall, and the very thing that is going to ruin him forever and is exposing how weak he really is. Make sure to leave that like.
Bro,
so
that's crazy.
Drake is about to get out of here, and so we can get one step closer to reaching 100,000 subscribers. And now with that said, well, now when it comes to Drake, with the impact and message that was sent loud and clear by the city of Toronto, which had them choosing Kendrick Lamar over the guy and making Not Like Us their official anthem over any other Drake track that has ever been released. Well, with this and everything else that went down at the Rogers Center on back-to-back nights, at this point what these shows have revealed is beyond anything we could have ever expected, because really, Drake might actually have to retire from rap now, because we have truly never seen a downfall get this bad, and at the rate Drake is at. Well, truly now, with the entire rap world just seeing how the one place that Drake grifted people into thinking he was the mayor of, in actuality just folded on him and ran to Kendrick's side as soon as they had the chance. Well, so many people thought was unfathomable at one point.
Bro, I need to know how Drake feels about this thing, bro. I want to know so bad.
Drake has somehow managed to plummet to an even lower low, not just in the rap power rankings, but literally in anything at this point. Because truly to have Drake's own city not just show up to this show, but chant and get excited the way they did for a song such as Not Like Us, in the entire history of hip-hop and maybe even competition as a whole, seeing somebody's own city just turn on them and cheer for the biggest rival you could ever possibly attain in this genre has just never not happened, but it's been unfathomable in hip-hop history like this, because truly, the equivalent of what Kendrick Lamar did would be something like Tupac playing Hit 'Em Up in Madison Square Garden and getting cheered on for it, which really in any other region. Again, aside from what Drake is running, this would never happen, because we have seen in instances throughout hip-hop history, like when Snoop Dogg and the West Coast were booed at the Source Awards, which were on the East Coast, of course, or even in the same award show when Outkast, who was representing the South, was booed there as well. In these competitive moments where we are seeing rivalries flare up, in the entirety of hip-hop, when greats even like Andre 3000 or Snoop Dogg were up against people like Biggie and Nas on their home turf, again, no matter how great the opposition was, they were the ones who ended up getting booed. And really, when we understand how regions have always had the artists they are supposed to represent back in hip-hop this way, and again, just see how Kendrick Lamar has broke this barrier and convention by getting his rival's own city to pick him, which is just a first. Well, again, this is so significant and both boundary pushing for competition and how dominant a rapper can be in Kendrick Lamar, but literally for Drake, so detrimental to everything that he has ever done and stood for. Because again, when you look at the trajectory and identity of Drake, with the Sixth God losing the Six, there is almost no way he comes out of this thing with his career, because truly, with now the awful truth...
Bro, Kendrick finna have Drake like these. I spelled "seen" all types wrong. Bro, Kendrick finna have Drake like these, bro. Look at these. Oh, dang it. Hold up. Copy image. Bro. Let me see. I'm trying to make it bigger. Bro, Drake finna be in a church praying to God that Kendrick something happened to him. And bro, this is funny, bro. Let me see. Bro, this is dead ass finna be Drake. Drake finna do these. I've come to you, humbled. What he's dang, bro, forget it.
Is telling us that
bad joke. I took the joke for too long.
Been not just to hip hop, but even to his own city. Well, now they don't even want anything to do with him. Seemingly, with this, all the hype around Drake and any momentum that he was still dangling on.
I feel bad for Drake, bro. Like, damn, bro. If only he wasn't so sensitive and prideful, and his ego wasn't so big, he could have avoided all of this. But damn, bro.
To keep annoying people, just like that is fading away, and now in Drake's own home of Toronto. This is all really bad because clearly what the people have now chosen is that they are simply over Drake, trying to pretty much just pander to the city in whatever way he can, which has been his strategy since the entire beef ended. And now as Kendrick Lamar is being openly celebrated and everyone is seeing how this entire region seemingly agrees that they got him over Drake. Well, again, for the biggest loser in hip-hop, this is not a measure of opinion anymore, but its impact. Because really, we are seeing the sixth turn on Drake right before our own eyes. As with Drake just releasing a new song with none other than Smiley titled To Maza, and let's just put this into perspective. Drake and Smiley made an entire video for this track and tried to hype it up as this gift to their hometown that would make them stay on Drake and OVO's side over what Kendrick Lamar was doing right within the same time with these GNX shows. Well, despite all of this, unfortunately for Drake, the streaming numbers on this track have came back for the first day, and they are absolutely atrocious. And now at the same time as this, while the GNX album and Kendrick Lamar's music as a whole is soaring up the Canadian charts, again, we can all see it happening right before our own eyes, the people in Drake's own city are agreeing and siding with Kendrick. And now as everyone is realizing where they all stand, which is just surreal, again, this downfall from Drake has never been more obvious, and really with his own side to turn on him like this, when you actually measure the impact and significance.
What was that? Look at this.
Decide to turn on him like this, when you actually
look at this man kick a soccer ball, bro.
Measure the impact and significance of losing your home turf in hip hop to your rival. Whether everybody realizes it or not, the impact of this moment is going to give Drake another Super Bowl-like setback, and it is really that bad, because really with the numbers that Drake and Smiley just did on this new track where he is credited as a lead artist, don't forget that. Again, with how this song never even had the chance to lose momentum because it never had any in the first place. Well, once and for all, what we are seeing is that when it comes to anything Drake is doing, and really anything even involving his name, despite the narratives that are coming out from the same people that tried to have the pizza party, which keep trying to say that Kendrick Lamar needs Drake's name to do any good, well, it's so obvious and clearly the other way, because truly, Drake releasing an entire new song and video, and yet the only thing that was being talked about today was Kendrick Lamar's performance and the history that he made, this tells you every single thing you need to know about who is truly popping out right now, and who everyone is genuinely interested in. Because
hey man, sometimes you just gotta pop out and show niggas.